on convincing my friends, who I trust, that you made a fucking awesome movie.
Well, but I just want to say, you know, I'm really happy being here, and thank you so much for inviting us to this festival. You know, I hope you enjoy the film. But,
Yeah.
We'll see you after the film.
Yeah, it could be awesome. Congratulations. Oh, my goodness. I'm normally better prepared. There are normally, I mean, there are normally simple and obvious questions to ask, and I'm not exactly sure. I have a rule also in Q&As where you should ask a question that ends in a question mark, and we're going to honor that, but I'm going to break that right now, because the first thing I wrote, and I think is a quote, doesn't have a question mark, is what the fuck is this? And then I stopped writing because I was just in awe. I mean, it's beautiful, it's touching, it's moving, it's so incredibly well acted, and it is weird as shit. So I have a few questions, and I'm going to happily pass it up to the audience, and we're going to moderate through hopefully a pretty wonderful exchange. Valdimar, this is your first feature. Yes? Yes. So I would like for you to send me your entire creative body of work up until this point. To how does a movie this odd? It is odd. It's not an appropriate question. I'm just in awe. So we're going to start with some simple ones, right? The birthing scene early, like that was pretty. Like I was pretty staggered. Like immediately you're just there. So let's just talk about the being there on the farm. What's the process for getting into that moment? How much time is involved before you actually get to the right time, and how much film was shot?
Well, hi everyone, first of all. I mean, it was pretty crazy because I was shooting a movie in New Orleans, and I wrapped on a Saturday morning, flew to Iceland and Reykjavik, and drove up to Akureyri, and got in like Sunday. And Monday morning, I was sitting in my mini trailer. I was driving tractor, and then to get used to the vehicle, and then waiting in my trailer for the sheep mama to get ready to deliver. And I was just waiting, and then they came knocking. It's like, the baby's coming, and I had to run. I've never done it before, obviously, because there was not many cases to practice. And all of a sudden, my hands are like deep in, you know. And I was pulling out a lamb, and I saw it, take its first breath, and it was really magical, and it was so pure and so real, and you saw this little creature stand for the first time and starting to like drink its mother's milk, and that was like the beginning. That was the first thing we shot, and it was from that onwards we were just in.
yeah, it was only one day, that we had.
Yeah, I had one little window. The lambing season was like, this was the last weekend of lambing season.
Because we had only, I think, I think we had like 10 sheep that had nothing before, so we were very fast.
I'm sorry, I'm going to ask like a little granular questions like that because I'm still a little bit gobsmacked. This is such an extraordinary piece, and I'm blessed to have come in absolutely cold, not knowing what to expect. Please, as you herald from the mountaintops to tell your friends to go see this, please tell them to just come in absolutely cold. I can assure you, it is a wonderful way to do it. So I'm gonna start with another granular question. So again, filming actual sheep to start off with. What is the process? Because there's a couple of really intense sort of interactive moments where all the sheep are looking at you and they're kind of pissed off at you. What do you do to get like 40 sheep to look really angry or questioning about your motives?
Yeah, I think they did a great job. With all the animals in the building, it was tricky, but I thought it would be more difficult, but somehow
except from Carlos the cat. The cat was like the biggest diva on set.
Like, speaking of the cat, like there's, you know, when you're watching, how many times have you seen this with an audience?
I think 3 times.
3 times. So there's magical moments, like, you know, great sort of, for me, like comedic moments where it is like there with the cat in glass. You know, these, when you're filming, do you intend to be in an audience full of people and have them have this flabbergasted, like joyous love of that little granular scene?
You know, what I think is very important is that, you know, for example, you know, the first chapter, it's a little bit heavy, but, you know, if you go all the way with, you know, that kind of film, you need some relief, you know. So, you know, I think it was a perfect character for the audience to, you know, it would be too
Kind of
difficult.
builds the bridge from our, you know, little locked up cocoon of weirdness to the real world, because it's kind of the eyes of extroverted.
I have a question for you. How did you get attached? Like, what do you so this? Where did the script come from? How did it get to you? And you read this and said, "Yeah, this is where I am. This is what I want to do." So it's a very unique script, very unique story. First-time feature director. So tell me about the journey for you being up on screen with this one.
Well, I grew up in Iceland, and I did my first film in Iceland when I was 7, and then I always wanted to come back to Iceland and work there again. So I've been waiting for this film, and it kind of, you know, when Valdimar sent me the script and I read it, I straight away knew. Like, it was so weird. It was like I got like a physical reaction to the script and the mood board you gave me. A lookbook of strange paintings and drawings and photographs, and it was just something just pulled me in, and I didn't have a choice. I just called my team. It's like, I'm doing this small Icelandic movie about a lamb child baby, and they were like, wait, what? And they're like, what has the director done? It's like, 2 short films. And then Valdimar and Hrönn, the producer, flew to London, and we had a meeting, and Valdimar doesn't speak much. He went out in my like backyard and had a cigarette, and I was like sitting there with the script and the lookbook, and it's like, well, I guess this is like, this is what we're doing. No, I just fell in love. I love that it's so specific. It's so pure, and it's so confident, and still like it's a vulnerability in the script and in your storytelling, and we started kind of building Marias together from that point. So I didn't have a choice.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the mood boards and the book? And you know, are there some tie-ins to Icelandic mythology, or is this all out of your own head?
No, we use a lot of elements from the Icelandic folktales, and but non-specific. You know, we just take the small elements and use them. You know, it's I haven't you know, heard about Icelandic folktales that you have like a half human, half lamb, and a ramen, but you know, we use all the others. You know, the elements of, you know, for example, Christmas night. Yeah.
But I feel like I would say that we live in Iceland. I mean, humans are close to nature, to animals in a slightly different way. I would say, like, my grandmother was like, you know, if we're out riding, you know, it's like you can't ride over that hill because that will like evoke the rage of the elves or the fairies, and you have to go around. It's like quite like I feel like you or we are more open for creatures that we can't see and creatures amongst us, you know. So it's a different take on.
Yeah, but you know, it's I think it's a part of Icelandic people. You know, the folk tales are maybe a little bit like a, what do you say, religions,
Yeah.
or you know, it's
very matter of factly. So when we started talking about like when we were shooting, I was like, you know, from an outside it might be weird, but for you it was really normal.
going to open it up to the audience for questions, and we get one right towards the back. Yeah, and I'm going to repeat the questions. So.
I was wondering if you could talk a bit about how you developed the marketing on the project. Like very strong, but the pace is very similar to the film.
Yeah, talk a little bit about how Valdimar came on to the project as well.
Yeah, he was my mentor. I was studying in Sarajevo, his film school, and he's just he's my hero. So and he also helped us. When I was there for 3 years, and when I came to Sarajevo, I was me and Sean, we had started writing the script. So I was always working on land, and and we talked a lot about it. And
did you give him sort of drafts of the script for his input, or was it a
no,
collaborative?
he knows the scripts, and I was just asking him a lot of questions, and he was just helping out.
Question here in the second one.
I'm curious, when you were filming, what you were looking at as you were working with the lamb child. What
Yes.
was it actually on set, and how was it to work with the replacement?
Okay, so what was it on set? It's just the lamb child. It's very realistically done, but it's obviously not there in existence. So what?
But it was kind of. We shot with lambs and with babies.
Okay.
So
Take a pic, one day lamb, one day baby.
And we had to force the child to wear this green screen, like a bowl cap that he kept trying to pull off. And some days we're you remember we're trying to get the lamb to fall asleep, and the whole crew was quiet, and it's fine. With 20 minutes later, and I was going and getting the lamb, and then action, and then the lamb was okay, everyone out. It was this endless waiting game for the lamb to sleep. But yeah, both.
No, I really appreciated how Noomi and Hilmisna and Björn, they were so, what do you say? Patient.
I was working on it.
Because we all the scenes with Atta we had to do with children, with real lamb, with puppets, and we had to do it so many times that it was
I've never worked on a film where the actors are not the number one. You can go away, we're shooting the lamb now.
But thank you, Noomi.
Thank you, Valdimar.
Any more questions from the crowd? All right.
Seems to me that you say Christmas Eve or you point to the fact that it's Christmas, the lamb, that has obvious connotations. But then a lamb is also something that's sort of emotionless in a way. You can sort of project onto it, and we spend a lot of time doing that with the characters. Was that on purpose? Because it's very quiet film. You don't actually say what's exactly going on.
Okay, I'm going to try to paraphrase that. There is obviously the Christmas analogy of having the lamb involved, but there's also this almost blank canvas of something you project your own feelings and emotions to in terms of the lamb in question. Ada was very stoic, so was that intentional? Is that, give it C- on that. But anyway, you got the idea.
I think I understand the question, but for me, for example, with all the animals you see in the film, you probably, give them all, some thoughts or what they are thinking about, because, there are not so much dialogue. So, we were hoping that, if you have a dog and you look him in the eyes, you say, okay, he's tired or he wants to go out or something. But We are also hoping
Same
that
with me.
yeah, you would do it.
She's tired. She wants to go for feed.
No, but that you know, if they didn't talk so much, you would also do it, you know, with, you know.
You should do whatever you want.
No, but also with the actors, that you would start, you know, reading out of the body language, or you know.
But it's also, I think, you know, it's very, we were just talking about, like, Amamin, my grandmother in Iceland, and your grandmother, they don't speak much. I mean, it's a very non-speaking people, the old ones especially. You know, the farmers especially, you know, they have the routines, and they don't, it's not a lot of words, right? That's how I grew up, you know, they don't talk about emotions, they don't talk much, you know, it's like they show in actions that they love you, but they don't say it.
We have time for just one more question. So the rule for the last question is, must be a killer dealer, like really good question, which sometimes frightens people, but not that guy right there. He thinks he's got it.
Hi. There's so many moments of there's like tremendous unease, right? There's like even if it's like in the plot, you have the mom, the mother sheep, you have the dog dying off camera, you don't know what's going on. You have this scare that might happen. Even just like a little kid played by a tractor, constantly freaked out all the time. And I guess it's one of those things where it's like you're just curious. Like, you want the next thing to happen, but you're also like so terrified of what's going to happen next. And my question is that something that you kind of put in wanting to feel throughout the film, where you kind of like discovered during script, or discovered during filming? It's just a constant moment of just trepidation.
So this is a challenging crowd for reiterating questions, but I will go ahead and do it. Throughout the film, there's many moments of just unease from children playing behind tractors, or the dog dying, for example. Was this something, this constant state of unease that actually extends into the Q&A? Was this by design, or is it something that you discovered through the script process? Was that part of the initial idea?
You know, I think the script is, it's a very classical story with one surrealist element.
We know what that one is.
Yeah. But, you know, I think, you know, I think we always go the way that is normal, you know. Even though, you know, you don't know what is going to happen, but we always go the normal way somehow, I think, you know.
I don't think you do, but I'll take that answer.
Good ending. We always go the normal way, as you've seen.
Guys, this is truly an amazing film, and we have a role here as an audience. I think we appreciate and we understand, and it's our job to nurture and guide the normal people of the world, maybe trick them into watching this movie. But anyway, I really want this to be a huge success. You guys are phenomenally talented, and it's a really bold, daring, amazing movie. Thank you so much for being here. Great luck. Thank you so much.